So welcome to you. You are already aware of the rules, so I won't spend time on that. But seat one today is Naveen in capital letters, no less. Seat two is Srijan, seat three is Rajat, and seat four is Vikram. We can get started. Three questions first for Naveen. Which iconic 70s rock band is comprised almost entirely of Lord of the Rings fans? References
Hold
to
on.
Wait. Something's wrong. Something's wrong.
I was happy to get this.
Okay, sorry
This
about
is
that.
week one.
Okay, there we go.
Shit, and I almost got this one.
There we go. Much better now. This podcast for lovers of horror films and scary stories sees hosts Hope Madden and George Wolf get into the specifics of the niche and explore many interesting tropes. What is the name of this podcast? A pun on a movie title that we cannot talk about.
Fright Club?
Very nicely done. This is Fright Club. Question for Naveen. Biagio de Cassina was an Italian priest who serves as papal master of ceremonies. He was a negative critic of Michelangelo's work and said that it was more suitable for public baths and taverns. An artist does not necessarily take well to criticism, and so Michelangelo decided to paint Biagio's likeness into his work. What did the artist wrap around Biagio's likeness, depicting a metaphorical and painful way to puncture his vulgarity?
I think it was some animal, some dogs biting his body or like something like it, jumping at his, jumping on his body or something.
Okay, can't take that. Srijan?
Pass.
Passes to Rajat.
Pass.
Passes to Vikram.
Pass.
Okay. This is it was an animal, you're right, but it was a specific animal. He wrapped a snake around him. That gets way more specific. He wrapped a snake biting his penis. So I wasn't expecting that, but anything with snake is acceptable.
No, I have actually seen this. I was just trying to remember what it was. It was a dog biting his.
Question 3. Srijan, do you think you could mute between your answers? I think there's someone speaking in your background, right? Or was that somebody else? Okay, question for Naveed. Which 2022 psycho slasher film serves as a prequel to another slasher film that was also released earlier in 2022? It tells the 1918 origin story of the titular villain, a young girl who dreams of becoming a film star, but ends up committing a series of violent acts on her family's Texas farm. Ten seconds.
Annie Borden or something?
Not that. Srijan?
Pass.
Pass to Rajat.
Pass.
Pass to Vikram.
Pass.
Passes. This movie is called Pearl. I don't know if anybody's heard of it. It's a sequel to another movie called X, which is where it says Extraordinary Origin Story. Question for Srijan. What type of sushi consists of a hand-pressed bed of rice that is typically topped with a single piece of seafood and sometimes an accoutrement like a glaze or a little bit of fish roe?
I don't know. Pass.
Passes to Rajat.
Is this sashimi?
It's not sashimi, Vikram.
This is nigiri.
Nigiri is right. This is what it looks like. Question for Srijan. Which erstwhile ruler of India, who established one of the Delhi Sultanate dynasties, loved to play polo, but also met his end while playing it in Lahore, dying instantly when the pommel of the saddle pierced his ribs?
Oh.
10 seconds.
Babur.
Second, please.
Babur.
Not that. Naveen.
Pass.
Pass to Rajat.
Pass.
Pass to Vikram.
I guess non-com.
Passes.
No, maybe I'll not guess non-comp because the quad is.
This is Kutubuddin Aibak.
Zubin.
Okay, question for Srijan. Apart from being a legendary actor, Dr. Rajkumar was an excellent singer too. While most of his film songs were picturized on him, some of the Kannada industry's biggest hits were songs sung by him but picturized on others. In 1990, he sang Hriday Samudra Kalki, picturized on Kumar Bangarappa, for which movie that shares its title with that of a ritual horse sacrifice practiced by ancient kings.
Yeah, I'm passing.
Past Naveen.
Ashwamedha.
Ashwamedha is the name of the mission. Okay, question for Rajath. Named after a person who popularized it in the early 20th century, what is the bar chart shown here popularly known as? The chart lists various activities in a project on the vertical axis and shows the time distribution for each on the horizontal axis. Some modern versions also showcase the relationship between the activities.
It's the Gantt chart.
It is the Gantt chart. Question for Rajat. The 2022 Booker Prize winning novel, The Seven Moods of Mali Almeida, is an afterlife noir about a war photographer who, after his death, tries to solve the mystery of his death in a celestial visa office and unveils photos with deep implications for war-torn Sri Lanka. Who is the author? Ten seconds.
Pass.
Pass
I have no
Srijan.
idea.
Pass it to Vikram.
Srijan Karunatilaka.
Well remembered, my friend. What the hell?
Wow. Nice.
I interviewed him actually for.
You interviewed him.
Yeah. Well, I used to work for Mint at that point, the newspaper.
Wow.
Nice, very nice. Question.
It's quite an advantage, man.
Sorry?
It's quite an advantage for this question.
If you happen to have interviewed the author who we're talking about, yeah, that definitely helps. Question for Rajat, what animal has become a symbol for LGBT culture due to its association with rainbows being extended to the LGBT flag? Alice Fisher wrote that rainbows and blank are so intrinsically linked that it's unsurprising that they started to appear on t-shirts and banners at gay pride around the world with slogans such as gender is imaginary and totally straight.
Unicorn.
Is correct. This is unicorn. And question for Vikram. As you'd expect from a song rooted in the psychedelic culture of the time, the lyrics of Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds by the Beatles feature some words that you do not normally expect to encounter in rock songs. One such word in Greek would literally be a device that lets you look at beautiful shapes and is constructed using mirrors facing each other at various angles. What word?
Prism.
Not that. Srijan? Need an answer?
Supernova.
Not supernova. Naveen?
Kaleidoscope.
Kaleidoscope is the one.
Yeah, I was split between the two.
The girl with kaleidoscope eyes was the line. Question for Vikram. The long jump event of the ancient Greek pentathlon saw the athlete take how many leaps as part of the jump? It is 2 more than the ones in a modern day Olympic event.
5.
Yes, correct. It is 2 more than the triple.
Yeah, 2 and 5 penta.
Question for Vikram. Watamo Caves in the North Island of New Zealand are one of the top tourist attractions of the country, largely thanks to the bioluminescence created in the cave by a local species of witch fungus gnat. The common name of this family comes from its luminescent nature, best witnessed through a boat ride into the cave system.
Firefly.
Not that, Srijan?
Pass.
Pass, Rajat.
Pass.
Pass, Naveen.
Pass.
Passes.
I've done this ride, so I thought it's fly. Okay.
Glowworm.
Glowworm, yeah. So I was thinking fireflies too, but I didn't go for it.
Okay, that completes round 1. Naveen had some bad luck there with 2 X's, but still picked up 3 points. Well done. Second round now. And questions for Naveen. Emily Davidson was arrested 9 times, went on hunger strike 7 times, and was force-fed 49 times. She ran onto the track during the 1913 Epsom Derby and was killed by being trampled by a horse owned by King George V. Some say that she was carrying a purple, white, and green flag. What cause was she an activist for?
Ireland freedom, I mean, like independence of Ireland.
Not that, Srijan.
Suffragette?
She was a suffragette.
Oh shit. That's my first guess. I thought the flag.
Second question for
No,
Naveen.
there was a king mentioned so on the time of
Oh,
it.
yeah.
Nice. Question for Naveen. The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo was a historical fiction novel by Taylor Jenkins Reid about the final interview of Hugo, a fictional old Hollywood star. Reid said Hugo's character was inspired by which Hollywood star who was married 8 times to 7 men, that is twice to Richard Burton.
Elizabeth Taylor.
That's correct. This is Elizabeth Taylor. And your third question, located inside the Ratpani Wildlife Sanctuary, which set of caves is home to over 700 rock shelters that feature the oldest known petroglyphs. Named after the resting place of a figure from an Indian epic, it is best accessed via a short car ride from Bhopal.
Madhubani Caves.
Say again.
Madhubani Caves.
Not that, Rajat.
No.
Pass.
Pass to Shiran.
Pass.
Pass to Vikram.
Bhimbetka.
Imbedkar is right. Precision. This transparent material appearing in the lyrics of Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds is a 1912 invention by Jacques E. Brandenburger and is a registered trademark in most countries, but has long since become a generic word to refer to transparent sheets of plastic, whether or not it contains a polysaccharide that makes up the cell wall of plant cells. What material?
Hmm. So, wrapping material?
Say again, please.
A wrapping material.
Okay, that's not that. Rajat,
Acrylic?
not acrylic. Naveen,
Cellophane.
cellophane is right. Cellophane flowers of yellow and green was there. Question for Shijan. H. Rider Haggard's She, A History of Adventure, which you may remember from last week, sees the protagonist encounter a primitive race of natives ruled by Aisha, the all-powerful she who must be obeyed. This immortal white queen draws many parallels with an antagonist from a 1950 children's novel, the author of which greatly admired she. Identify this antagonist, who is one of the 3 titular subjects of the novel.
Pass.
Pass to Rajat.
Pass.
Pass to Vikram.
Pass.
Pass to Naveen.
Pass.
That was unexpected. So the children's novel, the first book is called The Lion, the Witch,
Narnia.
and the
Something
Wardrobe.
to
Yep, that's right. So the title character is the White
White
Witch.
Witch.
So just the witch is also good enough from Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. Question for Shian. This weekly horror podcast has been around since 2006 and focuses on short stories. It is named after a temporary growth on a cell that allows it to become mobile, almost like a fake little foot. Amoebas make use of it to move around the growth, not the podcast. What is the name of the podcast?
Is it cyst? CYST?
Not that. Vikram?
Just gonna try Hydra.
Not that. Vikram?
I'll pass.
Pass to Naveen.
Pass.
Passes. So the hint was fake little foot, if that helps. The Greek version of that would be pseudopod.
Oh, wow.
Question for Rajat. What type of sushi is simply raw seafood cut into thin slices? While deceptively basic, it is considered to be the highest level of sushi amongst connoisseurs.
This is sashimi.
This one is sashimi.
Yeah.
Question for Rajat. Which board game released in 1959 is set in Europe leading into World War I and involves negotiation? It was the first commercially published game played by male. It was reportedly the favorite game of Henry Kissinger, whose main job the game's name describes.
I'm gonna try Risk.
Not Risk, Srijan.
Yeah, I had the same guess. Pass.
Pass to Vikram.
I'll pass.
Pass to Naveen. Your answer?
Okay, pass. I have a guess.
Vikram?
Is it
Secretary of
diplomacy?
State.
Diplomacy.
Secretary of State.
Oh no, it's diplomacy.
Diplomacy.
Oh,
Good
this
idea.
has to happen at least once every week.
I mean, you won't believe this, but I guess that this is what you had in mind when you decided not to go for it. So, question for Rajath. Which event of the ancient Greek pentathlon took place in a sand pit outside the temple of Zeus and not at the main menu?
I'm gonna try wrestling.
Say again, please.
Wrestling?
Wrestling is right.
Nice.
Question for Vikram. Michelangelo did not give much credence to Biagio's criticism. He thought that the priest lacked the intellectual capacity to understand and appreciate art. In what way did he depict Biagio's foolishness in the same work, referencing a still popular way of showcasing stupidity?
Oh, are these those little birds above the head?
Oh, nice guess, but not that. Srijan.
Pass.
Pass it to Naveen.
He's wearing a cap, a foolish cap, some kind
yeah.
of a cap, which
Nice guess, but no. That's it.
Pass.
Passes. So this is an equally sort of indicative symbol. It's giving somebody donkey ears. Donkey ears means the same thing
okay.
as a dunce cap or something. But all good guesses. Question for Vikram. The 2022 slasher film Pearl has received praise for its novelty, in particular its frequent homages to films from the golden age of Hollywood. The most prominent of these is which 1939 classic film? The protagonists of both movies are young farm girls who are unsatisfied with their lives and dream of being far away. Oh, and they both seem to have a thing for the sort of figure shown in the image.
Bold answers.
Not that? Here?
Pass.
Pass to Rajath.
Gonna try Wizard of Oz.
You are right. It is Wizard of Oz. She is romancing a scarecrow here. So scarecrow would be from the 1939 movie Wizard of Oz. Well done. Question for Vikram. What type of sushi is an inside-out roll with rice on the outside and a sheet of nori and sushi filling at the center? Removing the first three letters from this 7-letter word refers to the same type of sushi with rice on the inside and nori on the outside.
If you write an essay, it's not going to be your best.
Kaiseki.
It's not that. Srijan.
Pass.
Pass to Naveen.
Is it Inagiri?
Not Inagi. Rajath.
Pass.
Passes. So the simpler one, which you may have seen, rice on the inside and nori on the outside, that's called a maki roll. This one is
yeah.
uramaki. So if you put rice on the outside, that's uramaki. Question for Naveen. Which board game published in 1978 involves players as elite families in a banana republic trying to get foreign aid money into their Swiss bank accounts while surviving recurrent coup attempts? This name is a Spanish term for a group that takes power by force.
Guerrillas.
Not that, Srijan.
Oh, pass.
Pass it to Vikram.
I guess Contra.
Not Contra. Rajat.
I'll guess Armada.
Not Armada. So this was a tough one, I suppose. I thought this was a Hindi word. It's apparently not a Hindi word. It's junta. which means
Oh.
Oh, wow.
Oh,
Okay, interesting.
I had this guess.
Oh, I finished round 2 already. I forgot about that. So round 2 was pretty good for Rajat, picked up 3 points over there. Bad luck for both Srijan and Vikram, both of whose directs went to X's. So question now for
Wait, how
Naveen.
do you read that? Do you mind explaining that quickly?
Okay, so you see these 2 columns over here. This column is sort of a summary of everything that's happening in this round. This column is a summary of everything that happened in the previous round. Okay, so in the previous round, Naveen picked up 2 points, Srijan picked up 1 point, and Rajat picked up 3 points. Okay, and Vikram picked up 1 point. Similarly, these are owns, the second column. So in your owns, that is your own directs, Rajat got 2 of those, 2 out of 3. That was the highest in all 4. Srijan and Vikram didn't get any of those. Naveen got 1 of his own. Okay, and X's finally are questions that went unanswered. So in the last round, 2 of Srijan's questions went to X's, which means it's it's an unlucky round for him because he didn't know stuff, but neither did anybody else. That happened to Vikram as well. So in this case, we could say bad luck for Srijan and Vikram, but best score by Rajat.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, question for Naveen. What term is given to pie charts, like the one shown here, that shows the relationship of one part to a whole? One of the biggest advantages of such a pie chart is that you could add more rings to show multiple variables. Ten seconds. Any answer?
Pass.
Pass Srijan.
Yes.
Pass to Vikram.
Is it a donut?
It is a donut chart.
Oh, really? Okay. Thought of it, but thought may not be.
Wild guess.
Haven't heard that term before.
Question for
Once
Naveen.
again,
What term is given to a small line or stroke regularly attached to the end of a larger stroke in a letter or symbol? Often typefaces are categorized into 2, basis the presence or absence of this stroke, with the latter being represented by a prefix added to this term that stands for Latin for without.
Serif.
Serif is it, and the 2 types are serif and sans serif fonts.
Yes.
Question for Srijan now. In 2019, a right-wing party in Spain tweeted an image showing itself fighting against various symbols that were contrary to the party's ideology, including the feminist symbol, the hammer and sickle, etc. Among them was a modified rainbow-colored version of an existing emoji from Android 5.0. This symbol was quickly reappropriated by the LGBT community, who dubbed it Gayspur and spread it across press and television. What kind of symbol is Gayspur, or what existing emoji was modified to create it?
Is it the lollipop emoji?
It's not that, Rajat.
oh, sorry, pass.
Pass to Vikram.
Is this the ghost emoji from Casper?
Is correct. Gayspur is gay Casper. So
This is my guess too, actually.
that's what Gayspur looks like. It's
And
the,
what's the Android 5 reference?
this is an Android 5.0 emoji.
Okay.
Question for Srijan. Another story about 7 husbands is Susanna's 7 husbands, about an Anglo-Indian woman who kills her 6 husbands and inadvertently her house help, allegories for the 7 sins. She then becomes a nun, taking Jesus Christ as her 7th husband. Which Anglo-Indian wrote the story, the basis for the Bollywood film Saath Khoon Maaf?
Pass.
Pass to Rajat.
Pass.
Pass to Naveen.
Pass.
Pass to Vikram.
Ruskin Bond.
Is correct. It's Ruskin Bond.
Oh, really?
Really?
I was waiting for this question in this quad.
Vikram has picked up on the quad. Let's see if everybody else has question for Srijan. This is the likeness of Viaggio as drawn by Michelangelo. It was painted into this original artwork depicting the second coming of Christ and was completed 30 years after the more popular neighboring piece, both at the Sistine Chapel. Which painting? As promised, there is a snake biting his penis and donkey ears on his head.
Oh, pass.
Pass to Rajat.
Pass.
Pass to Naveen.
Called Apocalypse.
Not that.
Apocalypse.
Vikram.
Name is not coming. Pass.
Passes. This is called The Last Judgment by Michelangelo.
Okay, yeah, it's the same idea.
Question for Rajat. Which historical figure, also called Blank the Bastard, since he was the illegitimate son of Duke Robert the Magnificent, died from injuries after falling off of a horse during a military expedition in 1087? 21 years prior, he had decisively won and killed Harold Godwinson at the Battle of Hastings.
Pass.
Say again, please.
Pass.
Srijan?
I've come across this, but I can't recall it. Pass.
Pass to Naveen.
William Hastings. William from the Battle of Hastings.
I can prompt you. You've got the name right, but I need either a regnal number or a common moniker that he's known by. So William the number,
William,
or
I think one.
yep, that's right. William
William
is the one. He's also known as William the Conqueror.
Yes.
William the Conqueror, yeah.
Question for Rajat. When the Pevensey children first enter Narnia, they find it in the middle of an endless winter which has lasted a century. This is thought to be an allusion to a great winter described in Norse mythology. It lasts 3 consecutive seasons with snow coming in from all directions. What is this winter called? A precursor to Ragnarok, the end of the world.
Pass.
Pass to Jen.
Pass.
Pass to Vikram.
Pass.
Pass to Naveen.
Pass.
This is a tough one. It's called the Fimble Winter or Fimble Wetter. Question for Rajat. For which 1995 film, named for a holy sound in Hinduism, Buddhism, and Jainism, did Dr. Rajkumar sing 2 songs picturized on his son, Srijan Kumar?
Just gonna guess Om.
Yes, correct. This is Om. I had no idea you were such a big Dr. Rajkumar fan, Rajat.
Yes.
I'm from Bangalore, so I guess. Okay.
Which Indian strategy board game, named for the Hindi or Sanskrit word for governance, features players contesting elections by using resources like funds, clout, media, and trust? Inspired by the 2013 Delhi elections, it later expanded to other contexts such as the Russian Revolution and Brexit.
Uh,
10 seconds.
Neeti?
Not that. Srijan?
Is it Shasan?
It is Shasa. Well done.
We have played that once.
Oh, nicely done.
Hmm.
Okay. Vikram, what symbol was created in the 1970s for a campaign designed to increase visibility for gay people in Boston? One of the creators said that they chose the color because it is a mix of pink and blue, thus a merger of feminine and masculine, and the animal because it is a much maligned and misunderstood animal. Your answer should contain both the color as well as the animal. Seconds.
The mauve crocodile.
It's an inspired guess, but no. Srijan?
Pass.
Pass to Rajat.
I'll pass.
Pass to Naveen.
And pass. I guess so.
It's a very wise decision, I think, on everybody's part.
Purple snake, purple something like that. Purple pig.
We're giving a prompt for the purple because you might have seen it. It doesn't.
Purple flamingo?
It's not actually purple. It's lavender. It's a lavender rhino.
Oh, wow.
Oh.
Nice.
So good decision, guys. Good passes. Question for The freeing of Aslan from the stone table in Narnia, where he is killed, draws parallels to a scene from a short story published in 1842. The story revolves around a prisoner who, much like Aslan, is freed from his binding ropes by rodents. What is the name of the short story, told from the first-person perspective of the prisoner, who is terrified of the torturous situation that he finds himself in?
Count of Monte Cristo.
It's not that. Srijan?
Not a short story.
Oh, pause.
Past Rajat?
Pied Piper.
Not the Pied Piper. Naveen?
Pass.
This is the story by Edgar Allan Poe. It's called The Pit and the Pendulum.
Okay.
Okay, we're into round 4. Killer round for Vikram, picked up 3 points over there. At the same time, missing 2 questions. This is like a theme question for Naveen. Which variety of sushi made in the maki style consists of cucumber, crab, and avocado? Considered to be responsible for sushi's global popularity, this dish often comes with a sprinkle of toasted sesame seeds, and crab sticks may sometimes replace crab.
Sushi roll.
I think I can prompt.
Sushi roll is
I need a name.
it's called California sushi roll. Like
That's
any
good.
of those. Yeah. Okay.
California roll is what I needed. Well done.
Okay.
Question for Naveen. This word that turns up in the lyrics "Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds" was originally a brand name for a specific combination of petroleum jelly, calcium salts, and aliphatic acids. Today, it has become a generic word to refer to modeling clay. What word?
Play-Doh.
It's not Play-Doh. Yeah.
Pause.
Fast Rajat.
I'm gonna guess wax.
Not Pax. Vikram.
Pass.
Passes.
Play-Doh is my guess.
It's
Yeah,
plasticine.
it's
Plasticine
plasticine.
filters with looking glass ties was the actual question for Naveen. The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, which seems highly allegorical in nature, though C.S. Lewis has denied it. If we ignore him, though, the lion Aslan is often said to represent whom? This is supported by his act of willingly sacrificing himself for Edmund, being put to death, and eventually resurrecting.
Jesus Christ.
Not that. Oh wait, I'm sorry, I wasn't paying attention. Jesus Christ.
Oh.
Srijan, a board game named after which French royal, known as the Sun King, features players as members of his court trying to influence high-ranking court attendants, such as the king's mother or one of his many mistresses.
I mean, I should be knowing this. Harman Singh. Pause.
Passes to Rajat.
Pass.
Pass to Vikram.
Louis the 14th.
Is the correct Louis. Well done.
Yeah. I would have got this.
16 or 14 was.
No. 16 was a bad one. He was a French Revolution guy. So
Oh,
he was-
okay.
Who's the last one? Is 16 the last one?
16 is the last one. Yeah.
Okay. Question for Srijan. What term is given to the type of plot displayed here that graphically visualizes data from 2 or more qualitative variables? For example, the graph shown here shows distribution within each decade of the type of songs in the Guardian's list of 1,000 songs to hear before you die. They are also known by an alias that they get from their resemblance to the prince of a Finnish textile giant.
Nokia.
It's not that. Rajat?
Pass.
Pass to Naveen.
Pass.
Pass to Vikram.
Pass.
Passes.
But is it Colors of Benetton?
It's not called the Benetton.
Not
There are a couple. I have a
Finnish.
couple of different answers. Some people recognize the textile giant was Meko or Mari Meko, and it's also called the mosaic chart.
Let's see.
Okay. I think Benetton is Italian. No? I think it's
Yeah.
Yeah.
Question for Srijan. The
I've got
2022 slasher film Pearl, like its prequel X, has multiple references to which 1960s classic? The most obvious of these is a scene in which Pearl hides a car, complete with the body of her latest victim, in a nearby lake.
Is there a lag for everyone else too? I mean,
I've
I
seen that.
hear you, but
Yeah, I've seen that happen sometimes.
the slides come up 5 seconds after you
Yeah.
say it. So.
Yeah, I'll take care of that for your directs. What I'll do is I'll start reading a few seconds late. That way you'll see the question. Okay.
Okay. From Russia with love.
Not that, Rajat.
Oh, pass.
Pass to Naveen.
Pass.
Pass to Vikram.
Pass.
Passes. So the 1960s is a horror classic, in which somebody who runs a hotel,
Oh, Psycho.
Psycho, yeah.
No.
I did not know this part.
Question for Rajat. What term typically associated with the Yucatan Peninsula of Mexico is given to a natural cave or sinkhole resulting from the collapse of limestone bedrock that exposes groundwater? The one in the Yucatan region provides access to deep underwater cave systems that can only be explored by expert cavern divers.
Oh.
I'm gonna pass on this. I feel like it's there, but I can't recall.
Yeah,
It's Salamanca.
not that. Naveen?
Cenote.
Note is right. I thought this was a tough
Yeah.
one.
No, I went there. I went to this exact place like 4 months back.
Oh wow.
I have
It's
picked the right
near-
quiz.
Yeah. Yeah,
picked
this
the right
is
quiz.
near Cancun. Yeah. I
One
went
has
to
a
this
sort
place
of related
where-
story.
Yeah, Cancun was my first guess.
Yeah, I also went to
because
that
that's where I-
Glowworm cave. I also lived in Japan, but I didn't get this questions.
Somebody once described this to me as I was in a quiz. I totally Slumdog Millionaired it, which means you just
Yeah, right.
you have a
Nice.
life experience attached to every single question. I interviewed this person. I went to this place last week. Question for Rajat. The 2022 slasher film Pearl concludes with the memorable scene in which the bodies of various victims are arranged around a dinner table carrying rotting food. The director Ty West has said that this was meant to be a weird, demented Norman Rockwell tableau, but it ended up being reminiscent of a scene from which iconic 1974 film that is credited with originating many of the tropes now common in slasher films.
Slasher films. I'm gonna guess Rosemary's Baby.
It's a good guess, but not that. Sure.
was.
Pass to Vikram.
Pass.
Pass to Naveen.
Pass.
Passes. This is probably the prototype slasher movie. It is Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Oh, okay.
God,
Alright,
another
yeah.
guess. Oh crap.
Question for Rajat. The Last Judgment follows the traditional approach of showing the ascending on the left and the descending on the right. Biagio was placed at the bottom right. The damned who would descend into hell were judged by the figure which bore Biagio's features. Identify this kingly figure who had a penchant for sending folks under even when he lived. Ten seconds.
I'm just gonna guess Pontius Pilate.
Not that. Sure.
Was.
Pass to Vikram.
Pass.
Pass to Naveen.
Pass.
So this is a tough one. So this person, this kingly figure, he used to make groups of teenagers and he would send them off to be eaten by this monster. You may have heard of the monster. The monster had the head of a bull.
Minotaur.
Minotaur is right. So
Minotaur, yeah.
who's the king that owns the Minotaur?
Oh,
His name
so-
means
Minos.
monster of somebody. So it's King Minos.
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 Minotaur is the monster of Minos. Question for Vikram. Mega Bantu Mega from Manina Dhoni and Naliutta from Hridaya Haditu are Dr. Rajkumar songs picturized on which actor who was also a politician and a member of parliament from the Mandya constituency for multiple terms?
Is this Shankar Nag?
Not that. Srijan?
Pass.
Master Rajat?
This is Ambarish.
Ambarish is right.
I feel like I have an unfair advantage being from Karnataka. I don't know about the other guys.
Ambarish is the rebel star, right?
Yeah. No. I
I'm
guess.
pretty sure the objective of adding the squad by Udupa was that only to give advantage to people from Karnataka. Don't worry.
Oh, did it, yeah.
You're picking up on exactly the objective of this squad. Don't worry. Question for Vikram. In typography, what term is given to the process of adjusting the space between two letters within a word such that the edges of one hang over the other? The related term blank denotes a part of a type letter that overhangs the edge of the type block.
Overhangs. Cliff.
It's not that. Srijan?
Pass.
Fast Naveen?
Pass.
Fast Rajat?
This is Kerning.
Burning is right.
What's it?
Comes from the word corner, and that's what corner means. It's that part of the type letter that goes over the edge. Question for Vikram. In this memoir by Heinrich Harrer, a mountaineer and Nazi SS officer who was captured in British India escapes the country and attempts to climb Nanga Parbat, a member of the 8,000 meter club. What was the title of this memoir?
"7 Years in Tibet."
Is correct.
Yeah, that's correct.
You did this just by virtue of knowing that 7 would be in the title?
Oh no, this
Oh
is,
no, I actually
this is
didn't
very
think of
easy.
that at all. I just from Heinrich Harrer and
Okay.
British India.
Cool. Thank
This
you.
is a question which has been
Difficult
asked.
one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Question.
I didn't think of the 7 at all, actually.
Question. Okay, so this is round 5. Round 4 was particularly good for Naveen, picked up 3 points. As we enter final round, there is a tight battle for first position. Naveen's at 10, Vikram is at 9, and Rajat is at 8. Difference between first and fourth right now is 8 points. We do have more questions than that, which means that if Srijan goes on an amazing roll right now, then things could still change. Question for Naveen now. 3 questions for you. What was the foot race of the ancient Greek pentathlon called? It took its name from the place where the race occurred, and aside from being used as a unit of length, the Greek word also acts as the origin of the modern English word for many such venues.
Stadium. Stadium.
Second,
Stadia. Stadium.
I think I can give it. Stadia is plural for the unit that I have in mind. It's stadion.
Stadium.
You did get that right. That's done. Question for Naveen. Deepavali from the 1993 movie Muddina Mava had Dr. Rajkumar sing for whom? Someone whose primary claim to fame is in fact as a playback singer.
Kishore Kumar.
Not that. Srijan?
Pass.
Master Vikram?
Too many guesses, so I'll pass.
Master Rajat?
I'm going to guess SPB.
Is correct. This is
Ah,
Oh, really?
I feel like, I think Udupa would have accounted for the Kannada bias and tried to make popular enough.
I should have gone for SPV.
question.
Nice one.
Third question, Naveen. What symbol made with a ribbon is used in the United States to indicate support for same-sex marriage? It combines 2 symbols for marriage, the color and the phrase that metaphorically means marriage.
pink bond.
Not that, Srijan.
Is it the peace sign with the ribbon on one of the fingers?
Not that, Vikram.
Pass.
Pass to Rajat.
I'll take a non-comp.
A non-comp.
Is it like a white tie?
It's not a white tie. You got the color right. What phrase would mean a wedding? It's tying the knot. So this is white knot.
White. Oh, pretty close.
Oh.
White tie, white.
Question for Srijan. What is the two-worded Latin dummy text used by the design industry that acts as a placeholder text and has more or less average distribution of letters? Instead of using add content here within designs when the copy isn't quite ready.
NA?
Say again, please.
Like NA
Not that.
letters, NNA.
This is a lorem ipsum.
Yep, lorem ipsum is what I want. Well done. Question for Srijan. As of today, Oxless Adventure Tours are the only company that has permission to run the $3,000 guided tours to Sandung, the world's largest known natural cave, boasting of some of the tallest stalagmites and the tallest known and largest known cave passage on Earth. In which country is this landmark, whose otherwise star-studded tourist circuit often trumps this cave site?
Bolivia?
Not that, Naveen.
Thailand.
Say again, please.
Thailand.
Not
Thailand.
Thailand, Vikram.
Vietnam.
Is correct. This is Vietnam.
That's my other guess.
Puts you at 11. Well done. And third question for Srijan. The javelin throw was also part of the ancient Greek pentathlon. The event consisted of two parts, the echybalon and the stochasticon. If the echybalon was won based on distance, what did the stochasticon measure?
Speed?
Not speed. Naveen?
Pass.
Not Rajat.
This is time.
Not time. Vikram?
Height.
Not height. Good guesses all.
Yes.
So you're throwing a
But
javelin.
it's weight. Weight, I thought.
You're throwing a javelin. In one case, you're basically measuring strength, and the other case, stochastic means randomness, by the way. In the other case, you're going to be measuring accuracy. It's target practice.
Oh,
No.
Okay.
That's right to pass.
I thought javelin was just throwing a rod as far as you can.
Yeah, I mean, in one event, yes, you throw it as far as you can. In the other event, it's basically like archery, but with a javelin.
Oh,
Okay,
nice.
okay.
Nice.
Question for Rajat. This podcast originally began as a subreddit where people would share their own paranormal experiences. Matt Hansen suggested to convert the stories into audio format, and others volunteered to produce it, and the rest is history. What is the podcast called, named in reference to what most people experience after they listen to horror stories at night?
no sleep.
No sleep is what the subreddit is called. And your second question. Another word that pops up in Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds is a reference to the fruit of the citrus family that gets its name from a North African city, which along with Bombay was part of a dowry package. Which fruit are we talking about? Ten seconds. Need an answer?
Kind of
We'll have to
pass.
pass you, Srijan.
Alexandria?
Not that, Naveen.
Pass.
Pass to Vikram.
Tangerine from Tangier.
Is correct.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Tangerine trees and marmalade.
Yeah.
Tangerine trees.
Okay, that might be a costly miss for Rajat. Last third question for him. In typography, what is the term given to the exaggerated tail or flourish given to some letters, as shown here? Modern English term for a person who engages in daring and romantic adventures with flamboyance features this term, and the term in general can be used to denote swagger.
I'm gonna guess Casanova.
Say again, please.
Casanova?
Not that, Srijan.
Pass.
Pass to Naveen.
Swashbuckling, swash.
Is correct. This is Swash from Swashbuckling.
Nice.
Okay. Well, entering the last 3 questions, Vikram just needs 1 point to get ahead of Naveen. But if he misses any and Naveen picks them up, then that becomes interesting. Let us see. Question for Vikram. Which prominent Apache leader and medicine man died after being thrown from his horse and laying in the cold while he contracted pneumonia, until he contracted pneumonia? He is immortalized in an expression for exhilaration through World War II cries by American paratroopers.
Hiawatha.
Not that, Srijan.
Pass.
Pass to Naveen.
Geronimo.
Unexpected pass and correctly picked up by Naveen. This is Geronimo. That puts you in the lead at 13 points. Second question for Vikram. Host Julia Schifini and Amanda McLaughlin discuss myths and urban legends in their style of light-hearted banter. They converse about spooky subjects while sipping on booze to create a relaxed environment. What is the name of the podcast?
Sorry.
Cocktail hour.
Not that. Srijan?
Pass.
Pass Naveen.
Speakeasy.
Not speakeasy. Rajat?
Pass.
Passes. So this is a fairly simple pun. It's one word that connects alcohol and ghosts.
Spirit.
Spirits is right. Okay, and we have 1 question to go. If Vikram gets this, he ties for first position. If not, he's in second. Question for Vikram. What term is given to the graph or plot shown here that graphically demonstrates the locality, spread, and skewness groups of numerical data through their quartiles, that is 25% spread of their values? The term gets an additional qualifier and whisker, and there are lines showing variability outside the upper and lower quartiles as shown here. Ten seconds.
Scatter chart.
Not scatter chart. Srijan?
Pass.
Pass to Rajat.
Candlestick?
It's not candlestick. Naveen?
Mustache chart.
It's not a mustache chart. It's simply called a box plot, a box chart. So the result doesn't change. Naveen stays at first position at 13 points. 1 point behind is Vikram at 12. Third is Rajat at 10. And fourth is Srijan with 2 points. Well done, folks.
Thanks.
Yeah, I'll take
Well
this
played,
one off the
Naveen.
chair.
Thanks for
Thank you.
Thanks so much for
Thank
leading.
you.
Harman.
Thanks,
Rajat.
Harman.
Is anyone
Sure.
interested in seeing the business district in Paris?
What is this?
Yes.
Please?
Yes, please.
Oh,
sure.
wow. Nice.
Sorry.
I mean, I usually don't stay away this long. So, are you guys aware of Grand Arche? It's a white monument type of building in Paris.
Oh, nice.
So
What's the name? What's the
I'm on the second floor from the top. So
Oh, wow.
Oh, wow.
Oh wow.
Pretty
What's
cool.
it called? The
I think
building?
it's because
What's
what's
it
the name?
called? The building again?
in French it's called Grand Arche. Like in English,
Oh,
it's
okay.
Grand Arche. It's a
Oh,
white
okay.
building.
Right.
I
Nice,
think
nice.
it's quite famous. The thing is because
Oh, we
because
got a
of
meeting.
winter
Sorry.
time, the sunsets are early, so I usually don't
Are
stay
you
this
are
long
you in
over
the
here.
building that's on screen right now?
Yeah. I'm on the left side. Sorry, right side, 31st floor, and the
Nice.
top is 35. So,
Nice.
That is so cool.
So folks, thank you.
nice to see all of you.
See you.
See you next
Goodbye.
week. Bye.
Bye. Thanks, Harman. Bye.